welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a Q&A, but it's going to be a bit more of a specific one based on post-university life, transitioning from university to adult life or like graduate life, moving, all of the sort of logistical stuff, and also the more emotional side of it, because I know a lot of you have kind of grown up with me and followed me as I've gone through the various stages of school and university, and leaving university is obviously a really big step as well, and perhaps one of the most daunting ones, which I assume a lot of you will be in the process of doing or doing in the next couple of years. So I figured that this would be a really good chance to sort of discuss how I found it personally and give you some tips and tricks just for how to kind of smooth the transition, really. So before this video starts, I just wanted to say that it's actually very kindly sponsored by the wonderful people over at Adobe Creative Cloud. So for those of you who don't know what Adobe Creative Cloud is, it's a collection of over 20 apps that you can use for all your creative projects and passions, be it web design, photo editing, social media, you name it. The collection has the big names such as Photoshop and Premiere Pro, which you've probably already heard of, but it also has plenty of other amazing apps like After Effects, Lightroom and Dreamweaver, so you're literally spoilt for choice. For me personally, I really enjoy using Photoshop to edit thumbnails for videos and social media. I really just enjoy getting creative, exploring new tools and ways of presenting things to make my thumbnails stand out even more and better reflect the moods of my videos. As you can see on the screen now, Photoshop really does have all of those tools that I need to elevate my thumbnails to that next level and really just help me channel my creativity into making something that I'm really proud of. What I really love is that there are free resources and tutorials available for every level, so whether you're an absolute beginner like I was, or you're a complete pro, you can always discover and learn new things about the app to make your work stand out in different ways. I've just really enjoyed learning and developing my skills at my own pace, and it's become a really enjoyable creative output for me. If you're a student, Adobe Creative Cloud can really help you add something extra to your academic assignments, but it can also be a godsend for your side hustles, passion projects, etc. You could be using Photoshop to develop new graphics for a social media business you want to set up, or you could be using Premiere Pro to edit a new promotional video for a society that you want to found at your university. And with their student plan, students can actually get 65% off their first year of Creative Cloud and then 50% off each year after that. As well as the apps, you also get access to things like 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, the Adobe fonts, and so much more. You can also get access to a 7-day trial if you want to try it out beforehand. If you want to try out Adobe Creative Cloud and see how it can help you with your creative interests and passion projects, then be sure to scan the QR code which will be on the screen now, or click the link down in my description to sign up to the student plan today. Thank you so much to Adobe for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on with the Q&A. So I have got some questions here on my phone. I haven't really got a particular order or anything, so I'm just kind of going to go through them and answer what you guys had to ask. There were so many, so I definitely could do another one of these videos, but I didn't want to make it too long because you guys know I have a habit of making my Q&As very long. So the first question was, what is your favourite thing and least favourite thing about living in London? So for those of you who don't know, you might not have been following my videos over the summer, which is completely understandable, or just not really following me at all. This might be the first video you've ever watched of me. I moved to London at the start of July. I'm currently living in southwest London, in Brixton, in a 1-bedroom apartment with my boyfriend. Apartment, I feel like that sounds very American, in a 1-bedroom flat with my boyfriend. My favourite thing about London is just that there's always stuff to be doing, and for me personally, that is definitely one of the draws to London. I don't know about you, but I find that my TikTok is just filled with new restaurants, cool activities like underground bars, markets, all these sort of things that there are available to try. And obviously, yes, some of them are tourist traps and they're incredibly overrated, but I've made a massive list on my Instagram of recommendations that you guys have sent me, which I am just going to be filling out as I explore London myself. So if you go to my Instagram, which is down in the description below, you can click the link and find all those recommendations. But I just really love that every weekend I can sort of be like, okay, this weekend we're going to go here, we're going to try this new restaurant, we're going to try this new mini golf place, we're going to go to this new park. I really love that. There's just so much to do here. I feel like I'm never really going to be stuck for choice of things to do, which moving from Oxford, where as lovely as it is kind of limited on things that you can do after a while. It's really nice to feel like there's just like an endless opportunities here for me to try out. My least favourite thing is 100% just how expensive it is. Like even the tube now, just getting around costs so much money, not even considering like the obscene rise in energy bills and the just general inflation and the impending recession. I don't want to gloom you guys out by talking about that too much on this video, because it is literally just all that anyone is really thinking about at the moment, and it is all over the news. So I'm sure you're not here to listen to me talk about that. I think just the price of living here and just the cost of getting around and stuff, like, it is just quite expensive. Obviously London has really great transport links, which is a real big pro, but it does add up quite quickly. And just the prices of even just supermarkets, eating out, you just notice that everything is that little bit more expensive, which you do kind of sign up for when you move to the capital, especially when it comes to rent prices. But yeah, that's probably the thing that I don't like, but that's a pretty obvious one. I feel like that would be the thing that most Londoners don't like about London. The next question is, why have you had such a long break from filming YouTube content? I've missed you lots. I really missed you guys too, and I know that my videos have definitely been a lot more sporadic this year. I was always a really consistent, every Saturday, every Sunday uploader for like 5 years. I know that, but as I'm kind of transitioning into this new phase in my life, I don't want YouTube to feel like it's something that I have to do, because for me, I've never really done YouTube full time, and now I kind of am over the summer. Whenever I've sort of been in a situation where YouTube is the only thing that I have to do, it really just saps the enjoyment out of it for me, because I love filming, because I enjoy sharing stuff with you guys. I don't want to feel like I'm filming just to get a video up each week for the sake of fitting a regular schedule. Also, for reasons that I'll go into later in the video, I just haven't really been feeling myself, and I haven't really had that much to share over the summer, because it's not really been the most eventful summer of my life by any way, shape or form. It's not that I don't want to share like the lowlights of my life, but equally there's only so many like day in the lives and stuff that you can do before you yourself feel like you're kind of just a broken record. So I didn't want to reach that point either, and I wanted to make sure that the content that I was uploading was somewhat diverse and kind of enjoyable for you guys to watch. So there's like a multitude of factors, but basically I think going forward my plan is to kind of upload sort of as and when I feel is necessary. I have quite a few sponsored videos coming up the next few weeks, and I really hope you guys don't mind that, but it is just kind of the way that they all fall, and they always do tend to fall in August and September for me, in terms of like back to school, student life, all of that sort of thing. So, but in terms of uploading, I am trying to be a little bit more flexible with it. Generally, I know I tend to upload on Wednesdays or Saturdays, but I just want to be a bit more, yeah, intuitive. So uploading when I feel like I have something to upload, and not just thinking of a video idea for the sake of filling a gap on a schedule, because obviously as much as I love doing this, I don't want it to be my full-time thing. And as I transition into doing a very intensive journalist course, which is like 9 to 6 every day, weekday, and I have lots of like extra revision that I need to do outside of that, and eventually as I transition into getting a graduate job, YouTube is obviously not going to be my priority. As much as I enjoy doing it, it's not my future path, if that makes sense. This is not me saying I'm going to quit YouTube anytime soon. I think there will just be a point where I don't have time to upload as much as I would like, or I'm not enjoying it anymore, and at that point it will just be kind of like a natural end to what has been an amazing few years. Don't know when that will be. I don't want to make any guesses as to when that will be. I really have just made a commitment with my YouTube channel to upload when I feel like it, and upload what I feel like you guys will enjoy and what I enjoy uploading. So I hope that makes sense. It's not going to be a case of like every Saturday there's a video. Some weeks there might be a video every Saturday when I've got things to share and things that I enjoy filming. If I have a bit of a period where I'm super busy or I'm really not feeling inspired, then there might not be a video. So I really hope that's okay. But you can follow me on my social media and keep up with me there as well if you feel like I am not uploading as much content as I used to. So do go and follow my Instagram and Twitter, and I really hope that that is okay. The next question is, what is the biggest thing you miss about Oxford/uni life? In terms of uni life, I just really miss having people my age around me all the time. As lovely as it is just living in my own space, which I'll get into a little bit later, you do kind of miss just like going into the kitchen and like all your mates being there, and just being able to have a movie night at the drop of a hat. And now everyone is kind of all over the country, everyone's very busy. Trying to organise a get together is an absolute nightmare, and that does sometimes feel quite lonely compared to university. And I also just miss the schedule of having classes, having something to work towards, but again, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Biggest thing I miss about Oxford is just the architecture, the buildings. It's just an absolutely beautiful city, and as fun as London is, it just has nothing on how beautiful Oxford is. So I do just miss walking around and just thinking, hey, I'm in one of the most gorgeous cities in the UK. This is amazing. The next one is actually very similar, and it's how do you manage to keep in touch with uni friends? If I'm honest, I've not been great at that this summer. I feel like because especially in 4th year, all of my friends I kind of live with, I didn't really have to make an effort to keep in touch with them because I saw them literally every day. And I think the whole moving thing and just kind of adjusting and settling into London life, we haven't really met up as much as I would have really liked, and I don't think that's my fault or their fault, but like everyone's just been really, really busy, and obviously we saw so much of each other over the last year that it has just kind of been like a natural, like everyone goes off and does their own thing. I am going to make a conscious effort to keep in touch with people, and a lot more of them will be in and around London when the next academic year starts, so that will make it a lot easier. But I think one of the things that really surprised me about uni is you kind of feel like you're going to finish and you're going to be left with like a load of really, really close friends. And of course I've got loads of really amazing people and friends that I've met at uni, but I wouldn't say that I've left with like a really solid group that like we hang out all the time and like we're just like inseparable or anything like that. And I think that a lot of people get the impression that that's what's going to happen, and I kind of got a bit upset about it the other week, just thinking, have I done it wrong? Have I like not made enough friends? I spoke to my mom about it, and she said that she's only got two really good friends from uni that she keeps in touch with, and a lot more people tend to only have 1 or 2 friends that they keep in touch with like after 10-20 years than you would probably think. So I'm trying not to get in my head about it, and obviously people will kind of come and go, and as people move closer to you or further away, or you just find that you have more common interests with people that perhaps you weren't even that close with when you were actually at uni, your sort of friendships are going to change and develop accordingly. So I am just trying to go with the flow with it, but yeah, it has definitely been a big adjustment going from that very social, everyone's in a very, very reachable zone, to all of my really good friends, and you know, even just like friends from uni are everywhere, and if you want to meet up you have to make a really conscious effort to travel and meet them, which is obviously fine, but it's definitely different from uni. So we shall see. I'm very excited to sort of start my new course and stuff and make some new friends and sort of develop a bit of a London friendship bubble, because I have friends in London but I don't have like a set of friends, if that makes sense. They're all kind of like friends that I go and meet separately. So that is something that I am looking forward to, is kind of developing a little, not group, but just like a network of friends basically. Next one is, how do you manage your finances living in London / living with your boyfriend? Is it 50-50? Is it income dependent? We split everything 50-50, so we use the app Akasa, I think it's called, and genuinely if we do a food shop and one of us pays for it, we just put it on there. Yeah, everything that we have, like all the expenses, council tax, Wi-Fi, gas, electric, all just get split 50-50, so it's very easy to deal with. Obviously if we did a shop and Rob bought like 3 steaks and 2 crates of Stella, I'm not going to pay for that because I don't eat meat and I don't drink beer. But equally, if I was to then go and buy like some makeup or something, then that would just be common sense to like take that out. That's a purchase for yourself. But generally food shops and stuff like that, where we're sharing the food and everything, yeah, all 50-50. In terms of managing finances living in London, get back to me on that one, because I'm still in my budgeting phase, and also like I'm at a weird stage where I no longer have student loan, but I kind of have my YouTube income. I'm obviously going to be looking for a job to get a graduate income, so I will come back to that one when I'm more figured out with that, because I haven't quite got it all sorted yet. Next question is, what made you choose the NCTJ News Associates course over a master's route? So for those of you who don't know, I'm not doing an MA. I sort of decided against that, and I'm actually doing the NCTJ, which is the National Council for the Training of Journalists, and it's kind of a qualification that a lot of new journalists get to kind of break into the industry. You learn about media law, you do like court reporting, shorthand, broadcast journalism, sort of is a very practical hands-on course, and that was the main reason that I picked it, because for me personally, I'm done with essays, I'm done with theory, and I was looking at the MA at City, and I know that that is a very sort of beneficial course to sort of help you break into the industry. But I feel like for me, the NCTJ is a lot more intensive. It's short and it's very hands-on, and it includes a placement, so you can get experience as well. I think it just kind of had all the things that I was looking for after having done 4 years of like a very academia intensive course, was to switch to something where I'm kind of doing things every day. I'm writing, I'm producing, I'm making content like that, because I like to be kept busy, and as much as I enjoy Spanish literature and writing essays and grammar exercises, it wasn't really the spin on my life that I wanted this year. I didn't want to be just sat writing more essays about journalism. I wanted to be writing and creating journalism and learning the practicalities, so when I go into a job I can just hit the ground running and I have all the knowledge that I kind of need. So that was why I went for that. Also, it's a lot cheaper, so that was another bonus. The next question is a bit more of a deep question, and it was probably the most common one that I got, and this way that they worded it, this person, I feel like it best summed it up. So they've said, do you feel lost at all moving from the structure of academic life to the spontaneity of adult life? 100%. Like, I know everybody talks about the postgraduate blues or like postgraduate depression, and you don't really think it's going to affect you. I don't know why. You sort of think, oh, like I'm moving on to a next stage in life, especially with me as well, because I was lucky enough to not be moving back. Obviously some people choose to move back in with their parents, and that's not a bad thing at all, but I was lucky enough to be able to afford to kind of move out, move straight to London. I literally moved a week after I finished uni to London to have a flat, to start like a life for myself basically. So I figured that that would kind of like mitigate the impact of like not really knowing what to do after I graduate, but it absolutely didn't at all. If I'm really honest with you, I've really not been feeling myself the last couple of months. I've been really tearful, I've been quite down, I've been overthinking a lot. I've just felt a little bit, not bored, but I've really lost motivation to kind of do anything. And I really thought this summer would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like out exploring London like every day and like socializing and stuff, and I just haven't really wanted to do that. But equally then I'm sat in the flat watching TV and I feel like I'm wasting my time. I think it comes from just constantly being busy, constantly having something to work towards, and then suddenly just not having anything at all. You know, it's not like a break after A-levels where you know that you're moving to university. I have this course that starts in September, but you don't really need to do any prep for that at all. And it just felt a world away from starting a new academic course. And I think I have just really felt very just adrift and very negative, and just not very negative, but I have just been questioning myself, and there's been so much self-doubt, so many phone calls to my mother being like, am I doing the right thing? Should I have gone travelling? Should I have just done a gap year and backpacked around Australia? Should I have just gone and done something totally random? Am I being silly in moving straight to London and going straight for the job and the career? Should I have taken a minute to reflect? Am I going into the right career? Am I going to enjoy this? You know, all of these sorts of things. The one thing I have absolutely loved is having my own flat and being able to kind of decorate it how I want, and living with Rob has also been amazing. Obviously, like, you sort of clash on certain things and you have to learn how it's different living together, just the two of you, compared to living together in a flat with other people. But I have really enjoyed just having a lot of quality time with him over the summer, and obviously going to Ireland was absolutely lovely. And that's definitely been a big benefit, but I have just felt a bit more erratic than I kind of normally am, a bit more on the edge, a bit more just not myself really, and I think people have noticed that. I think as a result I've kind of not really reached out to many people, and I have just kind of been a bit in my own head and a bit introspective, and just not really in a very like good mental state where I'm trying to relax and just watch a new Netflix series or read a book, and then my brain is like, shouldn't you be doing something more productive with your time? Shouldn't you be out making friends and socializing? You know, are you just gonna live this really sad, boring life in London? Like, basically my brain is just going at a million miles an hour, telling me that everything I'm doing is the wrong thing at the moment, and I think that's totally natural, given that you've just gone from like, how many years of just like very structured existence to just everything is up to you. And especially at the moment, because I don't have a daily routine, I don't have something to get up for in the morning, not in like a depressing way, but there's not anything that's kind of to work towards. And I know that it's really healthy to have periods of rest and periods off, but for me personally, I just do not thrive when I have no structure. I need to be moving about, and I am so much better when I'm busy. I'm so much better when I'm like obviously not so busy that you don't have a life like outside of like your work or your studies, but I personally love like having something to work towards during the day, and then the evening I feel like my time is so much more precious and I enjoy just chilling out a lot more. Whereas when you've just got the whole day to just do whatever, then you just always feel like a bit of a loose end, and like what you're doing is not quite the right thing. So I'm very, very excited now, I think, to start my course, to get stuck in, to be busy again, because I think that will definitely help mitigate some of the questioning, the self-doubt, the worries that I've been feeling. I think I have made the right decision, and I know instinctively that I am in the right place for me at the moment, and that I didn't really want to go traveling at the moment. I didn't really feel like I was in the place for it. But you kind of just have to like not listen to the voices in your head that are telling you that you're doing the wrong thing, and trust that following your instincts is probably the best, and that everyone is going to be doing such different things after uni that you really can't compare. Some people are going to be like settling down, like getting married, having kids. Other people are going to be off working on yachts like my friend Liv is. Other people are going to be going into full-time careers. Other people are going to be doing like internships and figuring out what they want to do. That's all fine, and I need to tell myself that a little bit more. But the reason I've not really been uploading over the summer is because I have just not been in a great place. I know it sounds really silly, but like, you know, when your camera roll is just like screenshots and like random photos, and it's just not you out exploring, having fun, and you can just see in your camera roll that you're in a bit of a rut. Does that make sense? I feel like the camera roll is a bit of a random thing to say, but it's just not been a very eventful summer because I have just not really been feeling myself, and just like, yeah, I don't know. I obviously really do hope that that gets better, but I wanted to be honest with you guys because I have been honest with you the whole way through and say that I've not really been thriving. But I am very confident that once I get stuck into something new and get my teeth into something that I'm really passionate about, I'll be fine, and my social life will obviously naturally change when I sort of make new friends on my course and everything. So very excited for that. I'm just in a very weird limbo at the moment. I think it's a very bizarre place to be in, and I'm sure any recent graduate will probably tell you that. The next question is, how is Brixton treating you? I honestly love Brixton. I've not really got a bad word to say about it. I have been trying to explore sort of all the areas around here, so like Herne Hill, Clapham, Brixton, where else have I been? Like all the sort of, been going in all directions, Battersea, Wandsworth. So I am trying my best to kind of explore South London. So if you've got any recommendations for South London, please do let me know. But where we're living, honestly, couldn't be happier with it. Such a nice area, everyone's very friendly. It's kind of like off the main road, like off out of the centre of Brixton, but it's not far away from Brixton or Clapham. They're both like 15-minute walk away. So yeah, absolutely really, really happy with where I am. I need to explore more, and I need to find like the best places to eat and everything. So if you could recommend like proper good places to eat that are like run by like local Brixton people and are not just like hipster cafes with like hanging plants and like lo-fi music, that would be great. No hate to people that like those, but I just want to try out like all the cuisines and foods and community places that are available. So please do let me know, because we have found a few really lovely like independent cafes, and everyone has just been so friendly and has like asked us like, oh, have you just moved into the area? And like they've been living here for like 20-30 years, and have been giving us all the recommendations for the best spots and things. So also give me recommendations if you live in Brixton, that would be really handy. The next question is, how did you find a flat in London? The market is very competitive and I'm struggling. I'm gonna be like totally upfront with this, that we got so incredibly lucky. Like I don't even know now how it happened, because like the rental market in London is crazy and it is stupidly expensive, and the competition is ridiculous, and the amount that they're pushing rents up is obscene, and it always has been like that, like especially in the last like few years. But I think it got particularly crazy kind of just after we got a flat, because all my friends that are now moving are telling me about like 8-9 flat viewings, being forced to offer like £200 over the asking price, being in like WhatsApp groups with like other people, and just all sorts of absolute rubbish that estate agents and landlords are putting people through. And all my TikTok is the same of just how much of like a rental crisis it really is. We just got like, I think we just genuinely just got so lucky, because we looked in late April, early May, I think, and the first flat that we saw was this flat on Rightmove, and I just knew instinctively that that was the flat that I wanted, and I have no regrets because I frigging love this flat. It's like, I'm not moving until they force me out or they put the rent up so much that I can't afford it. But we just got so lucky that we saw the flat. We messaged the estate agents, we said, can we come for a viewing in a couple of days? They were like, it will be gone in a couple of days. So he sent us a video of it, like a really, really detailed video, and we both just kind of knew instinctively that that was like a perfect location and flat for us, and we offered £50 over the asking price, I think, and we just got really lucky that the person that offered above that then pulled out and decided they wanted to go somewhere else. So we got the flat within like 3 days, and that was it. We had a lot of stress after that. The process of actually like completing on the flat was like the most stressful thing I've ever done, and I'll just spare you the details because estate agents are absolute demons, like genuinely, what is their problem? But yeah, we got really lucky that this was kind of the first flat that we viewed. But I know a lot of people have been saying that it's just been an absolute nightmare, and I do not look forward to having to move from this flat, and I really hope that the landlady does not put the rent up so that we can't afford it next year, because we love it here and we are aware that we are so incredibly lucky to have got this flat, like, because it's just perfect for what we need, and it's actually a very good price for the area as well. So yeah, it's just horrible. It's just really, really horrible. God, I feel like the UK is just broken at the moment. Like, everything just seems to be working in the completely opposite way of how it's supposed to be working to make life pleasant. So, and the final question is, what are your plans for the next few weeks? So my course actually starts next Monday on the 5th of September. So next week will just be a lot of prepping for that. I am going to start getting a little bit ahead with the shorthand, which they told us not to do, but I just know it's going to be really difficult. And I've heard from many people that have done the course that it's kind of good to just at least learn the basics, and just sort of getting my head ready for it, getting like my student Oyster card and just getting everything prepped really. So next week's vlog should be a really, really nice vlog of me kind of just enjoying my last week of complete freedom, probably for a very long time, because this is going to be a very intense course, and just getting prepped really, and getting ready mentally and sort of physically for a completely new discipline, a completely new style of learning. I'm very, very excited, very nervous, but yeah, that's basically it. And just enjoying a bit more quality time with my boyfriend just before he starts his masters as well, and we'll obviously see a lot less of each other. So yeah, that's basically the plan. And that's the end of this Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this more specific sort of video and a sit down video, because I know you guys say that you really enjoy my sit down videos. Thank you so much to Adobe for kindly sponsoring this video. Don't forget, if you want to sign up to their student plan and get 65% off your first year of Adobe Creative Cloud, you can scan the QR code which will be on the screen now, or click the link down in the description to sign up. Anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, leave in the comments any requests you have for videos, or just a message to say hello, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye guys. Mwah.